In homes across the world, millions search for a solution to the same stubborn problem: belly fat. The accumulation around the midsection that seems resistant to ordinary effort. The fitness industry offers countless promises, but today we examine a specific claim that 8 standing exercises, performed at home, can target belly fat and accelerate weight loss. It's a compelling proposition. No gym membership required. No equipment needed. Just your body, some space, and the willingness to move. But before we explore these exercises, we must first understand what we're actually fighting against. Visceral fat, the medical term for belly fat, is more than an aesthetic concern. It wraps around internal organs, secreting inflammatory compounds that increase disease risk. Unlike subcutaneous fat found just beneath the skin, visceral fat poses genuine health threats: cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers. The body stores this fat as an evolutionary response to energy surplus. Our ancestors needed fat reserves for survival during food scarcity. Today, in an environment of abundance, that same mechanism works against us. Understanding this biology is the first step toward meaningful change. Before we proceed, we must address the most pervasive myth in fitness: spot reduction. The belief that you can target fat loss in specific body areas through localized exercise. Countless studies have examined this claim. The verdict is unanimous and unambiguous: spot reduction does not occur. When your body burns fat for energy, it draws from fat stores throughout your entire body, determined by genetics and hormones, not by which muscles you're exercising. Doing abdominal exercises will strengthen your core muscles, but it won't preferentially burn the fat covering those muscles. This is not opinion. This is established science. If spot reduction is impossible, what can standing exercises actually accomplish? The answer lies in creating a caloric deficit. Weight loss occurs when you burn more calories than you consume. Exercise contributes by increasing your daily energy expenditure. Standing exercises offer particular advantages. They engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously, burning more calories than isolated movements. They improve balance and functional fitness. They're accessible to people who find floor exercises challenging. Most importantly, they can be sustained long-term, and sustainability is the true secret to fat loss. Not intensity alone, but consistency over weeks and months. Standing exercises activate your entire kinetic chain. Your feet must stabilize your body. Your legs generate power. Your core maintains balance. Your arms coordinate movement. This total body engagement burns more calories per minute than exercises performed lying down or sitting. Standing movements also translate better to real-world activities, improving your functional capacity for daily life. For individuals with mobility limitations, joint issues, or those who simply prefer not to get down on the floor, standing exercises remove barriers to entry. Accessibility matters. If an exercise program is too difficult or uncomfortable to maintain, its theoretical benefits become irrelevant. The first exercise adapts the traditional mountain climber to a standing position. Stand facing a wall, countertop, or sturdy furniture at arm's length. Place your hands on the surface, shoulder width apart. Your body forms a diagonal line. Now drive one knee toward your chest, then quickly switch legs in a running motion. Maintain this alternating rhythm. The movement elevates your heart rate rapidly, engaging your core, hip flexors, and cardiovascular system. Unlike floor mountain climbers, this variation reduces wrist strain and allows individuals with limited floor mobility to access the cardiovascular benefits. Aim for 30 to 60 seconds, building toward longer durations as fitness improves. For the second exercise, stand with feet hip-width apart, hands behind your head. Shift your weight onto your left leg. Simultaneously lift your right knee toward your right elbow while crunching your torso to the side, bringing elbow toward knee. Return to starting position. Complete all repetitions on one side before switching. This movement targets the obliques, the muscles along the sides of your torso. Strong obliques improve rotational power and spinal stability. While this exercise won't specifically burn fat from your sides, it will strengthen the underlying musculature, improving posture and core function. Perform 15 to 20 repetitions per side, focusing on controlled movement rather than speed. High knees is a fundamental cardiovascular exercise with profound metabolic impact. Stand with feet hip-width apart. Run in place, driving your knees as high as possible with each step, ideally bringing them to hip level or higher. Pump your arms in coordination with your legs. The faster your pace, the greater the caloric expenditure. This exercise rapidly elevates heart rate, improving cardiovascular fitness while burning significant calories. It engages your hip flexors, quadriceps, and core stabilizers. The beauty of high knees lies in its simplicity and scalability. Beginners can perform at a moderate pace. Advanced individuals can sprint at maximum intensity. Either way, the metabolic demand is substantial. The effectiveness of these exercises must be measured in concrete terms. A person weighing 150 pounds performing moderate intensity standing exercises can burn approximately 200 to 300 calories in 30 minutes. High intensity intervals can push that number to 400 calories or more. Over a week, if you exercise 5 days for 30 minutes each session, that's 1,000 to 2,000 calories burned through exercise alone. Combined with dietary awareness, this creates the caloric deficit necessary for fat loss. 1 pound of fat contains approximately 3,500 calories. Creating a weekly deficit of 3,500 calories through diet and exercise yields 1 pound of fat loss per week, a sustainable and healthy rate. The standing bicycle crunch translates another classic floor exercise to an upright position. Stand with hands behind your head, elbows wide. Lift your right knee while simultaneously rotating your torso, bringing your left elbow toward the right knee. Return to center, then repeat on the opposite side, creating a pedaling motion. This exercise combines rotation and flexion, engaging both the rectus abdominis and obliques. The standing version offers balance challenge that the floor version lacks, requiring greater core stabilization. It's also more dynamic, incorporating hip flexion and rotation in a functional movement pattern. Perform 20 to 30 total repetitions, alternating sides, maintaining controlled form throughout. Few exercises are as universally recognized as the jumping jack, yet its simplicity masks remarkable effectiveness. Stand with feet together, arms at your sides. Jump while simultaneously spreading your feet beyond shoulder width and raising your arms overhead. Jump again, returning to the starting position. Repeat in a continuous rhythm. Jumping jacks provide cardiovascular conditioning, improve coordination, and engage muscles throughout your entire body. The plyometric nature, with feet leaving the ground, increases caloric expenditure compared to non-jumping movements. For individuals with joint concerns or limited space, a low-impact modification exists. Step 1 foot out at a time while raising arms, eliminating the jump while preserving the movement pattern. Between exercises, recovery deserves consideration. When performing high-intensity standing exercises, your heart rate elevates significantly, approaching or reaching your maximum heart rate. Your muscles accumulate metabolic byproducts. Your nervous system fatigues. Strategic rest allows these systems to partially recover, enabling you to maintain higher intensity across multiple exercise bouts. In circuit-style training, where you move from one exercise to the next, active recovery, continuing to move at low intensity, often proves superior to complete rest. Light movement facilitates metabolic waste removal while keeping your heart rate elevated, maximizing caloric burn during the workout session. Balance intensity with sustainability. Exhausting yourself in week 1 guarantees you won't reach week 4. The standing side leg raise targets muscles often neglected in standard exercise routines. Stand with feet together, hands on hips or holding a stable surface for balance. Keeping your leg straight, raise it directly to the side as high as comfortable, typically 30 to 45 degrees. Control the descent back to starting position. This movement engages the gluteus medius and minimus, hip abductors crucial for hip stability and walking mechanics. While not as metabolically demanding as cardiovascular exercises, the side leg raise builds functional strength and contributes to total daily energy expenditure. Perform 15 to 20 repetitions per leg, focusing on controlled movement and maintaining upright torso alignment. Front kicks introduce a martial arts element to the standing exercise repertoire. Stand with feet hip-width apart, hands in guard position near your face. Shift weight onto your left leg. Lift your right knee, then extend your leg forward in a kicking motion, as if striking a target at waist or chest height. Retract the leg, returning your foot to the ground with control. The movement engages your core for balance, hip flexors for the lift, and quadriceps for the extension. The dynamic nature elevates heart rate while building lower body power. Alternate legs or complete all repetitions on one side before switching. Perform 20 to 30 total kicks, adjusting height and speed to match your fitness level. The final exercise adds a rotational component to the standing mountain climber. Return to the elevated hand position against a wall or counter. Instead of driving your knee straight forward, bring your right knee towards your left elbow, crossing your body midline. Alternate sides in a continuous rhythm. This crossbody pattern increases oblique engagement and adds rotational demand to your core. The movement challenges coordination while maintaining cardiovascular intensity. It serves as an excellent finishing exercise, combining elements from earlier movements into a comprehensive whole-body challenge. Perform for 30 to 60 seconds, or until form begins to deteriorate, which is your signal to stop and recover. These 8 exercises become most effective when organized into a structured circuit. Perform each exercise for 45 to 60 seconds, followed by 15 to 20 seconds of active recovery. Complete the entire circuit, then rest for 1 to 2 minutes before beginning a second round. Aim for 3 to 4 total circuits. This structure maintains elevated heart rate throughout the session, maximizing caloric expenditure while allowing sufficient recovery to maintain form and intensity. The total workout time, including rest periods, spans 20 to 30 minutes. This duration aligns with research showing that consistency matters more than individual session length. A 30-minute workout performed 5 days per week surpasses an exhausting 90-minute session performed once weekly. The benefits of standing exercises extend beyond the workout itself. Intense exercise creates a phenomenon called excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, known as EPOC or the afterburn effect. Following vigorous exercise, your body requires additional oxygen to restore hormonal balance, replenish energy stores, repair muscle tissue, and return to homeostasis. This recovery process burns additional calories for hours after you finish exercising. The more intense the exercise, the greater the EPOC effect. High-intensity interval training, alternating intense bursts with recovery periods, maximizes this response. While the afterburn doesn't replace the calories burned during exercise, it contributes meaningfully to total daily energy expenditure, enhancing the fat loss effect of your training. Your body adapts to repeated stress through a process called progressive overload. What challenges you today will become easier over weeks and months. To continue improving, you must systematically increase the difficulty of your workouts. For standing exercises, progression takes multiple forms. Increase exercise duration, performing each movement for longer periods. Reduce rest intervals between exercises. Add additional circuit rounds. Increase movement speed while maintaining proper form. Introduce light hand weights for upper body movements. The specific method matters less than the principle, gradual, consistent increases in training demand. This progression stimulates continued adaptation, preventing plateaus while building greater fitness capacity and caloric expenditure over time. Exercise effectiveness depends on proper execution. Poor form reduces the targeted muscle engagement, diminishing results while increasing injury risk. For standing exercises, several principles apply universally. Maintain neutral spine alignment, avoiding excessive arching or rounding of your back. Engage your core throughout each movement, creating a stable base for your limbs. Land softly during jumping movements, absorbing impact through your entire foot rather than crashing onto your heels. Control every repetition through both the working and returning phases. If you cannot maintain proper form, decrease intensity, reduce speed, or take additional rest. An exercise performed incorrectly provides minimal benefit while potentially causing harm. Quality always supersedes quantity. Exercise alone rarely produces significant fat loss without dietary awareness. The reason is mathematical. A single chocolate bar contains approximately 250 calories. Burning those calories through exercise requires roughly 25 to 30 minutes of moderate intensity work. Consuming excess calories takes seconds. Burning them takes substantial time and effort. This doesn't diminish exercise importance. Physical activity provides countless health benefits beyond weight management: improved cardiovascular function, enhanced mood, better sleep, increased bone density, reduced disease risk. However, for fat loss specifically, creating a caloric deficit requires addressing both sides of the energy equation. Exercise increases expenditure. Nutritional awareness controls intake. Together, they create sustainable fat loss. In fitness, consistency defeats intensity. A moderate workout performed reliably 5 days per week for 6 months produces dramatically better results than an exhausting workout performed sporadically. The reason traces to basic physiology. Fat loss requires sustained caloric deficit over extended periods. Muscle development requires consistent training stimulus. Cardiovascular adaptation needs regular stress. One heroic effort, followed by a week of inactivity, allows your body to return to baseline. Modest but regular effort compounds, creating progressive adaptation. Build a routine you can actually maintain. Schedule specific workout times. Prepare your space in advance. Remove decision-making from the equation. When exercise becomes automatic rather than optional, when it's simply what you do rather than something you must motivate yourself to do, you've achieved the mindset that produces lasting transformation. An often overlooked component of fat loss is sleep quality. During sleep, your body regulates hormones controlling hunger and satiety. Insufficient sleep elevates cortisol, a stress hormone promoting fat storage, particularly in the abdominal region. Sleep deprivation also increases ghrelin, the hunger hormone, while decreasing leptin, the satiety hormone. The result, you feel hungrier and less satisfied after eating, making caloric control dramatically more difficult. Furthermore, fatigue reduces exercise performance and daily activity levels, decreasing energy expenditure. Research consistently shows that individuals sleeping 7 to 9 hours nightly lose more fat than those sleeping 5 to 6 hours, even when following identical diet and exercise programs. Prioritize sleep as seriously as nutrition and exercise. It's not optional. It's foundational. Chronic stress sabotages fat loss efforts through multiple mechanisms. Elevated cortisol promotes visceral fat accumulation, the exact type you're trying to reduce. Stress often triggers emotional eating, increasing caloric intake. It disrupts sleep, creating the hormonal cascade just described. Stress also reduces motivation and willpower, making it harder to maintain healthy behaviors. Exercise itself provides stress relief, but it must be balanced. Excessive training without adequate recovery becomes an additional stressor, potentially counterproductive. Incorporate stress management practices into your routine: meditation, breathing exercises, time in nature, social connection, enjoyable hobbies. Managing stress isn't peripheral to fat loss. It's central. Your physiology doesn't distinguish between types of stress. Chronic psychological stress creates the same hormonal environment as physical threat, and that environment promotes fat storage. Water plays crucial roles in fat metabolism and exercise performance. Lipolysis, the breakdown of fat molecules, requires adequate hydration. Dehydration impairs this process, literally slowing fat burning. Water also regulates body temperature during exercise, allowing you to maintain higher intensity for longer duration. It lubricates joints, reducing injury risk. Proper hydration improves exercise performance by 5 to 15%, a substantial difference in caloric expenditure. Many people also confuse thirst with hunger, consuming calories when their body actually needs water. A practical guideline: drink half your body weight in ounces daily. A 150-pound person should consume approximately 75 ounces of water. Increase this amount during exercise or in hot environments. Clear or light yellow urine indicates adequate hydration. Tracking progress requires appropriate metrics. Body weight, the most common measure, provides incomplete and often misleading information. Weight fluctuates daily due to water retention, food volume in your digestive system, and hormonal changes. You can gain muscle while losing fat, maintaining stable weight while dramatically improving body composition. Scale weight doesn't distinguish between fat mass and lean tissue. Superior metrics include waist circumference, measured at the narrowest point of your torso. Visceral fat reduction manifests as decreased waist measurement. Progress photos, taken under consistent lighting and angles every 2 to 4 weeks, provide visual documentation that daily mirror checks miss. How your clothes fit offers practical feedback. And most importantly, how you feel, energy levels, sleep quality, mood, physical capability. These holistic measures often reveal progress when the scale remains static. Plateaus are inevitable, not exceptional. Your body resists fat loss through multiple adaptive mechanisms. As you lose weight, your basal metabolic rate decreases because you have less tissue to maintain. The same exercise that initially challenged you becomes easier as fitness improves, burning fewer calories. Hormonal changes affect hunger and satiety signals. These adaptations are normal physiological responses, not personal failures. Overcoming plateaus requires strategy changes. Increase exercise intensity or duration. Adjust your caloric intake to match your new, lighter body weight. Modify your exercise selection, providing novel stimulus. Take a planned diet break, eating at maintenance calories for 1 to 2 weeks to allow hormonal systems to recalibrate. Plateaus test your commitment. Those who persist through these periods, adjusting their approach rather than abandoning their effort, ultimately succeed. No single approach works identically for everyone. Genetic factors influence fat distribution, metabolic rate, and response to exercise. Age affects hormone levels and recovery capacity. Previous training history matters. Medical conditions and medications alter metabolism. Gender creates physiological differences in fat storage and hormonal response. Some individuals respond better to higher intensity intervals. Others see better results from longer moderate intensity sessions. Dietary approaches that work brilliantly for one person may prove unsustainable for another. This variation doesn't invalidate general principles. Caloric deficit remains non-negotiable for fat loss, but it does demand individual adjustment. Pay attention to your own response. What leaves you energized versus exhausted? What eating pattern controls hunger most effectively for you? Effective fitness requires general knowledge applied through personal experimentation. Rapid fat loss promises saturate fitness marketing because they sell. The truth is less exciting but more important. Sustainable fat loss occurs at a rate of 1/2 to 2 pounds per week. Faster loss typically indicates muscle loss or water weight, not fat reduction. This timeline requires patience. Losing 20 pounds of fat takes 10 to 40 weeks, depending on your deficit. That seems slow in a culture demanding immediate results. But consider the alternative: rapid weight loss followed by equally rapid regain, the pattern repeated countless times across years. Slow, steady fat loss, supported by strength training to preserve muscle and habits built for long-term maintenance, produces lasting transformation. You're not pursuing a 12-week body transformation. You're building a sustainable relationship with exercise and nutrition that serves you for decades. Transformation rarely occurs in isolation. Social support significantly predicts long-term success. This support takes multiple forms. A workout partner creates accountability and makes exercise more enjoyable. Family members who understand your goals and support healthy meal choices remove obstacles. Online communities provide information and encouragement. Professional guidance from qualified trainers or registered dietitians accelerates progress while preventing common mistakes. Even simply informing friends about your goals increases commitment through the psychological power of public declaration. Conversely, unsupportive environments make success exponentially harder. Constant temptation, criticism of your efforts, or pressure to abandon healthy behaviors for social conformity creates exhausting resistance. Actively cultivate a support network aligned with your goals. And recognize that becoming healthier yourself often inspires and enables others to begin their own journey. Physical transformation is fundamentally a psychological challenge. Your body will do what your mind consistently directs it to do. The obstacle is rarely knowledge. Most people understand basic fat loss principles, but behavior change. You must address the psychological patterns that created the current situation. Emotional eating, using food for comfort rather than fuel. All or nothing thinking that interprets one imperfect meal as complete failure. Using exercise as punishment for eating rather than celebration of capability. Low self-efficacy, the belief that you're incapable of change. These mental patterns require deliberate work. Cognitive behavioral strategies help identify and modify counterproductive thoughts. Mindfulness practices create awareness of hunger versus emotional triggers. Self-compassion, treating yourself with the kindness you'd offer a friend, proves more effective than harsh self-criticism for sustaining behavior change. Ultimately, these standing exercises represent a gateway, not a destination. They provide an accessible entry point into regular physical activity. They demonstrate that effective exercise doesn't require gyms or equipment. They prove you can dedicate 20 to 30 minutes and meaningfully impact your health. But the broader goal extends beyond any specific exercise program. It's integrating movement into your daily life. Taking stairs instead of elevators. Walking during phone calls. Standing and stretching during work breaks. Playing actively with children or pets. Choosing parking spots farther from entrances. These micro-decisions accumulate. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the calories burned through daily movement outside formal exercise, varies by up to 2,000 calories daily between sedentary and active individuals. An active lifestyle, where movement is woven throughout your day, produces better long-term results than isolated exercise sessions surrounded by otherwise sedentary behavior. Before beginning any exercise program, certain precautions apply. Individuals with existing health conditions, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, joint problems, or those over 40 beginning exercise after prolonged inactivity should consult healthcare providers. This isn't merely legal disclaimer. It's practical wisdom. Some conditions require exercise modifications or medical supervision to ensure safety. Certain medications affect heart rate response or hydration needs. Previous injuries may necessitate avoiding specific movements. A medical professional can provide personalized guidance, ensuring your exercise program supports rather than compromises your health. Additionally, if you experience chest pain, severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or joint pain during exercise, stop immediately and seek medical evaluation. Exercise should challenge you, but it should never feel dangerous. Smart caution prevents problems that derail progress. These 8 exercises require no equipment, removing a common barrier to starting. However, as you progress, minimal equipment can enhance your training. A yoga mat provides cushioning for stretching and floor work. Resistance bands offer variable resistance for strength exercises. Light dumbbells, 3 to 10 pounds, add intensity to upper body movements. An interval timer, or smartphone app, structures your circuits. A heart rate monitor provides objective intensity feedback. But here's the crucial point: lack of equipment is never a reason to postpone starting. The perfect setup doesn't create results. Consistent action with imperfect resources dramatically outperforms perfect plans never implemented. Begin with bodyweight standing exercises today. Add equipment strategically as your commitment and capabilities develop. Your body provides all the resistance you need to begin transformation. Never begin intense exercise from a cold start. Proper warm-up prepares your body for work, reducing injury risk and improving performance. A effective warm-up elevates core body temperature, increases blood flow to muscles, enhances joint lubrication, and activates your nervous system. For standing exercises, 5 to 7 minutes of light activity suffices. March in place, gradually increasing knee height. Perform arm circles, starting small and expanding the range. Add gentle torso rotations. Include leg swings, forward and lateral. Gradually increase intensity, transitioning from relaxed movement to purposeful activation. By the end of your warm-up, you should feel warm, breathing slightly harder, and mentally focused on the upcoming workout. This preparation invests a few minutes to protect the entire session. Similarly, end each workout with 5 minutes of gentle stretching while muscles are warm, improving flexibility and facilitating recovery. Standing exercises offer particular advantages across different life stages. For older adults, they improve balance, reducing fall risk, a leading cause of injury and loss of independence. They maintain bone density, protecting against osteoporosis. They preserve functional capacity for daily activities. For middle-aged adults juggling careers and family, standing exercises provide time-efficient fitness requiring no commute or equipment. For younger individuals, they build fundamental movement patterns and cardiovascular base supporting more advanced training. The point is universality. These movements adapt across fitness levels and life circumstances. A 70-year-old and a 25-year-old perform the same basic exercises, adjusting intensity and duration to match individual capacity. This scalability means you can maintain an exercise practice throughout your entire life, modifying as needs change but never abandoning the fundamental practice of regular movement. Motivation follows action more often than it precedes it. We imagine we must feel motivated to exercise, then we'll begin. The reality reverses: begin exercising, and motivation emerges. Action creates momentum. Small successes build confidence. Physical activity improves mood through endorphin release and sense of accomplishment. These positive feelings increase desire to repeat the behavior. This creates a virtuous cycle: action leads to results, results fuel motivation, motivation supports continued action. But the cycle must be initiated through discipline, doing the behavior even when motivation is absent. In the beginning, you rely on commitment and structure. Schedule workouts like important appointments. Prepare your space in advance. Remove decision-making through routine. As you persist, the positive feelings and visible results generate genuine motivation. Eventually, exercise becomes self-reinforcing, something you want to do rather than something you force yourself to do. Perfectionism sabotages more fitness efforts than laziness. The belief that if you can't do the full workout perfectly, you shouldn't do anything at all. This thinking creates fragility. One missed workout becomes a week off. One imperfect meal becomes a day of overeating. The all-or-nothing mindset makes your entire effort dependent on perfect conditions and flawless execution, standards impossible to maintain. The alternative is practicing flexible consistency. Some days you complete the full circuit 3 times. Other days, fatigue or time constraints limit you to 1 round. That's not failure. It's 1 round more than 0. Some meals perfectly align with your plan. Others don't. One imperfect meal doesn't erase a week of good choices. Progress results from the accumulated pattern of your behaviors, not from any single instance. Embrace imperfection. Consistency with flexibility defeats perfection paralysis every time. Small consistent actions compound into remarkable results over time. One workout burns 200 calories. Unremarkable. 5 workouts weekly for a year burns 52,000 calories, approximately 15 pounds of fat. 20 minutes of daily movement seems insignificant against decades of accumulated weight. But sustained across months, it produces measurable change. This is the compound effect: modest actions, maintained consistently, yielding exponential results. The same principle applies to skill development. Your first standing workout may feel awkward and exhausting. By week 12, the same circuit feels manageable. By month 6, you're performing variations you couldn't imagine at the start. This improvement isn't dramatic day to day. It's barely noticeable week to week. But comparing month 6 to day 1 reveals profound transformation. Trust the process. Protect the daily practice. The results will accumulate inevitably. Ultimately, belly fat reduction and weight loss are intermediate goals, not final destinations. The true objective is claiming agency over your health and life. It's proving to yourself that you can set a goal and achieve it through sustained effort. It's experiencing the confidence that comes from physical capability. It's adding healthy years to your life and life to your years. It's modeling healthy behavior for children, family, and community. The standing exercises are tools. The circuit is a method. But the real transformation occurs in your relationship with your body, shifting from adversary to ally, from something to be punished to something to be strengthened. This mental shift, more than any physical change, determines whether your transformation sustains or becomes another failed attempt. When you exercise from self-respect rather than self-loathing, from celebration rather than punishment, you've achieved something far more valuable than fat loss. You've built a foundation for lifelong health. You now understand the science behind belly fat, the myth of spot reduction, and the reality of creating sustainable fat loss through standing exercises. You have 8 specific movements, guidance on structuring effective circuits, and context for supporting your effort through nutrition, sleep, stress management, and hydration. More importantly, you understand that this journey is measured in months and years, not days and weeks. That consistency defeats intensity. That imperfect action surpasses perfect planning. The question now is simple: will you begin? Not tomorrow. Not next Monday. Today. Right now. Stand up. Perform high knees for 30 seconds. You've just completed your first interval. Everything else builds from that single action. The 8 exercises await. The only remaining variable is your decision.